Hello friends, and welcome to another video. I'm Jeanette with Veeble Vintage Designs. Today we're going to keep things really simple. I am going to be, well, I already did. I found this image that I liked. I took a pencil and scribbled on the back. I taped it to my watercolor paper and I traced it. And what we want this to look like when we're finished is this very simple but very pretty painting. So go ahead and find yourself an image that you like, trace it onto your watercolor paper. We're going to need, I have 2 containers here of clean water. I'm using my my Muño watercolor paints. I have Naples Yellow, Hooker's Green, and Permanent Rose. And I've already mixed them. They're very diluted. You want this to be very light and simple. And you're going to need an eraser and a fine liner. I have 2 brushes, one for wetting down the area and one for dropping in the color. So now that you know what we're doing, let's get started. For my outline, I am using a 0.35 millimeter tip, and these are just some inexpensive fine liners that I have. So go ahead and trace your image. I'm going to do that, and then we'll meet each other back here in just a moment. Okay, so now we are at the center of this flower, and if you look here, you can see it's just a bunch of lines and little circles. So I'm just going to try and follow what I traced, but if not, I'm just going to wing it. So I'm going to create my little lines and my little circles here. It's hard to see what I traced, but I'm going to do my best. It doesn't have to be exactly, you know, you can use a little imagination. And then in the very center, I'm just drawing in some circles. And you can see that that fills it in really nicely. And then wherever you think you might need an extra one, just draw it in. But keep it simple. All right, so now that we have it traced, we're going to use our kneadable eraser. And we're going to erase the pencil lines. Let me move my brushes out of the way. And all I'm going to do, oops, I forgot the lines for this leaf. There's always something that I miss. Okay, I think I have everything. Yeah. Except the line for the center vein for this leaf. All right, now that it's all down there, I'm just going to take my kneadable eraser and I'm going to go over this so that I can erase those pencil lines that were not covered by the liner. And any smudges that I may have had with the pencil when I was tracing the image. So you want everything nice and crisp and clean. And now this is the really easy part. We're going to keep this very simple. This would be a beautiful card or just a simple painting. So I have, like I said, 2 small jars here, one with both with clean water. I'm going to use one to clean my brush, and I'm going to use the other to wet down the area because we're going to be doing a little wet in wet. So I'm actually going to dilute my paints here by adding a little bit more water to them. I don't want them to be too dark. I want this to be really nice and soft. And of course you can make your colors as intense as you would like. All right, so we can see here that the center of this flower has this very pale pink, and it kind of spreads out into some of the petals. And this one has the Naples yellow, and it's basically just in the center. And then we're going to use the Hooker's green in the leaves. But I also added a little bit of the permanent rose to the Hooker's green to kind of make it a little bit more earthy. So when you're doing this type of painting where you're using the wet and wet technique, what you want to do is you want to wet the area, and you want it to go beyond the area. You want to make sure that you wet beyond the area where you want to drop your paint so that you get nice soft edges. So I'm just going to wet down the entire flower area here. I'm making sure that I have enough water, but that it's not puddling, that it is being absorbed by the paper. So if you need to tilt your paper in the light to see, I have mine taped here, but let's see. As I tip it in the light, I can see that I missed an area here. And this is really important. You should always try to lift your paper and see it in the light so that you can make sure that you don't have any puddles, that you didn't miss any areas. So now I'm just picking up a couple of little puddles that I see here and there. And now I'm going to pick up that permanent rose. Let's put this back down there. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that permanent rose, and it's still very, very bright. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to it, because I really do want this to be nice and soft. And because this permanent rose is so bright, I think I'm going to pick up a little bit of that Naples yellow and add it to that mix and soften it up a little bit. You can see it makes it a little bit more peachy looking. So I'm just going to add that, and that's what I want. I like that a lot. So you can see we went from that to this. And I may even add a little bit more. There we go, perfect. So now I'm going to add it to the paper, and you can see all you have to do is just touch the brush to the paper, and that paint is going to blend in with that water. How simple is that? So now we're going to clean our brush. We're going to pick up that clean water from the second jar, and we're going to do the same for this flower here. So you can see I'm kind of scrubbing with the brush. I want to make sure that it absorbs the water nicely. I'm going to pick that up and take a look, make sure that I have all the area wet that I need. And don't be afraid if you go outside the lines or if your paint goes outside the lines. It's okay. This is very loose, very simple, and a very relaxing painting. So nothing about it has to be perfection. Now I'm going to pick up that Naples yellow, and I'm going to drop that in the center, and I'll carry it up some of the leaves, rather petals. And even on these back petals, I'll add a little bit. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit darker towards the center though. And that's that. So now let's clean our brush. And now we're just going to add a little bit of green. And my green is a little too dark, I think. So I'm going to add a lot more water to it. I want it very watery. Okay. So I may, for the larger area, no, I think I'm going to switch to my smaller brush. This is a Silver Black Velvet number 4, and this one was a Silver Black Velvet number 8. And of course, use whatever you have. And you can use similar colors or whatever colors you like. So let's wet down this large leaf here. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of that green and drop it in there. Very light, because I want the focal point to be these flowers, not the leaves. So I'm just going to go ahead and wet down a few of those areas and then drop in the green. And then some of these smaller areas you can just drop it in. Now be careful that you don't touch anything that's still wet, otherwise your green will blend into that area. And you don't want to mix your colors. So I was very careful. I'm trying to be very careful and not touch any of the areas that are still wet of the flowers. Let's see how that works out. So you can see how easy this is. This is a painting that you can create very quickly, and it's just so pretty, and the simplicity of it is what I find beautiful. This would be great for a card, or as I said earlier, just to put it in a frame. And now I'm going to pick up the same green and I am going to do the stem. But I'm also going to pick up a little bit of that pink and drop it in here and there, just to change it up a little bit. And there is our finished painting. This was quick, it was easy, beautiful results, and I think maybe we need a little bit of pink on this bud. So I'm just going to wet it down a little bit and add a little pink there, and then there's a little green on this little leaf. I'm not wetting down the area first, I'm just dropping it in there and then moving it around with my brush. So again, very simple, very pretty, great results, quick painting, and it's a lot of fun. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions about anything you've seen me do here. Check out the description box for links to the products used, and also check out our Facebook group, Vibo Vintage Designs, where you can post your versions of the paintings and techniques learned on this channel. So I hope to see you there. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.